Welcome all for the happy learning in data structures and algorithm. Today we are continuing with our fourth module. Under fourth module we are going to discuss third session, which is about circular queue. You have already seen the basic concepts of queue and operation that has been performed in the queue, and today we'll start with the third session, which is circular queue. Normally in a queue we have a front end and a rear end, and we have a size of an array. When it is implemented through an array based implementation, we have supposed to declare the array size, and we will not be able to insert an element when your queue is full, and you will not be able to delete an element when your queue is empty. The size of the queue has to be defined priorly, whereas in circular queue we overcome that limitation by logically connecting our last node with the first node. Okay, in array implementation of queue, the size of array is defined. For example, if our size of the queue is 10, I cannot insert my 11th element. Whereas this limitation can be overcome using the circular queue. In the circular queue, last node is connected back to the first node. That is, the start location comes after the end location. Suppose if I want to insert 11th element, I will be inserting my 11th element at the beginning of the first node. That is again from the starting node. This is what the concept of circular queue. Okay, it overcomes the main disadvantage of array implementation of queue, where you are supposed to give the size of array. Here it overcomes that. For a practical example, when you use your Nokia mobiles, what happens when your memory is full, when you receive an incoming messages, automatically the first message will be deleted and the new message will be overwritten by the older message, which is following the concept of circular queue. This is an example for a circular queue. We have 8 elements over here. Okay, then starting with 0 to 7, and when you insert 9th element, what happens here? So first element will be inserted at 0th position, the second element will be inserted at 1, followed by 2, followed by 3, followed by 4 until 7. When you are supposed to insert a 9th element, almost your queue is full. What happens here? Here it will be replacing the element which has been present in 0, and it will be overwritten. This is what the concept of circular queue is. Okay, the start location of the queue will be the first when your queue ends. After your last element in the queue, again it will be starting with the starting location of your queue. And we have two operations here similar to the normal queue, which is enqueue operation. When you insert an element, we use a enqueue operation, and when we delete an element, we use a dequeue operation. We'll see how to insert an element in a circular queue. Okay, first you check here. Normally we insert an element using the rear end. Initially your front end and rear end will be at the -1 position. When you start inserting an element, it comes to the 0th position. Both your front end and your rear end will be at the 0th position, and when you insert an element, you will be incrementing your rear end. So the first location, the element will be inserted, and next you will be incrementing your rear end, and you will be inserting the second element. You will be inserting the element by incrementing your rear end until your last element. Now you will be checking whether the queue is full or what. Okay, and when the queue is full, what we do, we start again with the starting node, that is from the first location. We will be performing enqueue operation at the first location. This is how you will be inserting an element in the circular queue. You will be incrementing the rear end for each and every element when you are supposed to insert it. See, this is an example where you have both the operations. Okay, first you are inserting the element 14. Okay, then you are incrementing your rear end. Then you are inserting 22. Then you are incrementing your rear end. Then you are incrementing your 13. Then you are then you are inserting -6. So your incrementing your rear end, you are inserting. Okay, this is all the NQ operation. So when you perform DQ operation, what you do? So even here it is following FIFO principle, that is first in, first out. Where will be your front end be initially your front end and your rear end will be the first location, that is at the place where 14 is inserted. So when you perform DQ operation, 14 will be deleted and your front end will be incremented to 22. When you again perform DQ operation, 22 will be deleted and you will be incrementing your front end. So when after incrementing your front end goes to 13. So now 13 will be deleted and you will be incrementing your front end, 6 will be deleted. Okay, this is how you perform a DQ operation. Now after 6, when you want to insert an element, it will be inserted at the 9 is inserted. Where is the rear end now? Your rear end will be at -6, right? So now you will be incrementing your rear end. So rear end comes to the next position. So 9 will be inserted. Again you increment your pointer, rear end pointer, and you insert 20. Again you increment your rear end and you insert 15. This is how both the NQ operation and DQ operation is done. Okay, now we'll see the routine to insert an element in the queue. Okay, so void insert, the item is of integer type, so int item. So if your front is equal to 0 and your rear is equal to max minus 1, what it specifies? It specifies that your queue is full. Okay, if your front is equal to 0, then it specifies your front end is at the first position and your rear is max minus 1. So if suppose if it is 9 minus 8, since it is starting with 0, the last element will be 8th position. So if your rear end is equal to max minus 1, that is at 8th position, what you do is you will be incrementing your you will be overwriting your front end and your front is equal to rear plus 1. When your front is equal to rear plus 1, what it specifies? This specifies that your queue is full. So it will be returning the message your queue is overflow condition, that is you are trying to insert an element when the queue is full. Okay, if your front is equal to -1, what it specifies? It specifies there is no element in the queue and you cannot delete it. So you'll be bringing your front end and your rear end to the first zeros position, so that now you can insert an element. Clear? This is a routine to insert. First you are checking whether the queue is full or you have an underflow condition, and when in the case of underflow it will be at -1 position. You are bringing your front end and rear end to 0 position to insert the element. Now we are going to delete an element. To delete an element, we should first assure that there is an element in the queue. Okay, how do you assure that? You check whether the queue is empty. If it is queue is empty, you specify an error over there, that is it is underflow. Okay, now when to delete an element, you will be deleting the first element in the queue, and after deleting it, when you after performing DQ operation, you will be incrementing your front end, and after deleting the second element, your front end will be deleted. This is how deletion takes place. So this is an example. So 22, 13 minus 6. How do you perform deletion? Your first element is 22. So you will be dequeuing. When you perform DQ operation, 22 will be deleted and your rear front end will be incremented. Front end will be incremented to 13. So 13 will be deleted and again your front end will be incremented to -6. This is how DQ operation is done. We'll see the routine to perform the deletion operation. Okay, the operation to be performed as deletion. If your front is equal to -1, what it specifies? If it is -1, it specifies there is no element in the queue. So it returns as underflow condition. Okay, so how do you know there is an element in the queue? When your front is equal to rear, then what happens is it specifies there is an element in the queue. Then you start performing deletion. Okay, then you are checking the condition if friend is equal to max minus 1. So friend is equal, how long you will be performing deletion operation? Until your friend is equal to max minus 1. Until the last node of the element you will be deleting. You will be performing the DQ operation. This is about deletion in the circular queue. We'll see what are all the applications we have in a circular queue. Okay, memory management is one of the application for a circular queue. See, whenever the previous memory has been filled, whenever you delete an item in a mobile or what, it follows circular queue. So the last address will be connected to your first element. So process scheduling, when a CPU wants to schedule the process, it follows the concept of circular queue. And a traffic system, whenever there is available network, it resolves the traffic by connecting it circularly. These are all the applications of circular queue. This is all about circular queue. Thank you all.